What's going on, everybody? You know who it is. If you don't, it's AGreenBlur. We got another Regicide gameplay. Free for all is definitely my favorite. And look at this nice little trade off. Surprised me with the sword. And today's commentary is was inspired by a friend of mine, another commentator on YouTube. He goes by the name of Lincoln Gaming. You know, shout out to him. Used to network with him heavily. But his commentary was based on friendships and what he considered to be a true friend, and that was based off of sympathy, sacrifice, and sincerity, or something like that. And I left a comment and I said, you know, it was a good commentary, because it was a cool video, and I just didn't think he covered exactly what a good friend is. I think a good friend is a true friend. I mean, he was basically saying true friends are gonna make sacrifices for you and be sympathetic towards you and be sincere about things. And to the extent that's true, but he was basically saying that true friends are always going to do things for you and sacrifice things for you without having any beneficial gain to them. And maybe he wasn't exactly saying that they always are going to sacrifice for you no matter what, but that's just kind of what I took from it, and I just didn't want that message to be brought out to, you know, his fan base and everything like that. I think it's kind of like a false way to kind of judge your friends. You know, I think there's good friends and there's bad friends. You know, definitely a bad friend is someone who's using you and doesn't realize they're using you. And anybody who's using you purposely for the fact of using you, that's not a friend at all. You know, not every time someone who's doing something doesn't know they're doing it. You know, if someone's being controlling, it just may be in their nature to be controlling, and that's definitely not a good or bad thing. It's just not something they are out of control with or are consciously doing. So I kind of just like throw it off. You know, it's definitely something, if it bothers you enough, you should definitely mention it. But other than that, I don't think there's anything wrong with someone being controlling or doing something unconsciously. So I think a good friend is gonna be sympathetic and sincere and make sacrifices for you, yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be 100% all the time. Like, at one point, if you're the one asking for stuff all the time, you definitely should be giving them back something. This should be a mutual thing. And that's been a big thing on YouTube. He gave a lot of examples between like real life and YouTube and stuff like that. And he noticed some of his people who he thought was friends were just basically leechers and trying to leech onto him and things like that. And to an extent, different people have different requirements for them to consider you a cool person, you know, cool in their book, a good friend, whatever. That's definitely not something I like focus on, and it's kind of hard to distinguish between the two, but to no avail. If someone does something for you, it should be a mutual thing, like, well, okay, you do this for me, I'm gonna do this for you, and just having that mutual agreement builds foundation onto where things just kind of go freely. Well, yo, can you do this for me? You know, I got this for you later on whenever I have it, things like that. You know, I think friendships have to start off with a mutual thing going back and forth. That's what makes a good friend, and just them being there for you without having to break their backs all the time. You shouldn't constantly need your friends. So that's the gameplay.